Hey there friends, welcome back to another Dinkum build video. This speed build has been cut down from about a 4-hour live stream I did with Reaps Gaming a while back, and one of his building buddies, Tracy. The three of us set about building an old-fashioned drive-in movie theater. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated. Reaps is very well known in the Dinkum community. Him and his crew tend to build these magnificent creations, and I invited myself over, a little cocky, like, hey, let's do this, and then I get there and I'm like, panic. But it ended up working out really well. I had a great time hanging out with Reaps and Tracy the night that we built this. Well, I guess it was day for them, but it was my evening time. So he had this really actually perfect spot on his island that sort of lended itself to a drive-in movie theater for the design we kind of came up with. And here we're just I'm kind of pushing back where the drive-in will be, and then here in a little bit I start building the actual I guess you would call it the screen for the theater. It was a very long process, believe it or not. Reaps does not play with dev commands. Everything is made or crafted or harvested or all the things as the game is intended for, the regular gameplay. And so it took a little longer than a normal build because we were, doing it completely, I guess, vanilla, if you want to call it that. So it was a good experience. I haven't played vanilla in quite a while, and so it was nice to get back to that experience of crafting things and going and getting the items that you need to make what's necessary for the build. I'm not sure that I'll go back to it permanently, but it was definitely a nice, fun change from what I've been used to doing. So here we are building the screen. Both Reaps and Tracy had a lot of contribution in this build. They did a lot of things off to the sides. I kept pausing my recording because, for a 4-hour recording is like 70 or 80 gigs of information. So I kept pausing and then forgetting to unpause. And so, my cuts are a little choppy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is not the best edit I've ever done, mostly because I kept hitting the button incorrectly, thinking I was pausing, and then I didn't, and then thinking I was unpausing when I wasn't. Those of you who do this probably maybe know what I mean. It is what it is. We had to do a lot of tear down of kind of what was there to give us a little space to build kind of the drive-in area. Now, I'm old enough that I remember drive-ins and actually went to them as a child. A lot of the newer generations, it's not a thing, although they did get a resurgence in popularity when COVID became a thing and movie theater going traditional movie theater going was no longer really an option. I enjoyed going to a drive-in when I was a kid. It was like this really cool experience. You got to stay in your car, and you got to watch this movie on this huge screen. And then, obviously, it's an experience different from a typical movie theater going experience, which, I kind of miss this. This is why I stay home. I don't really go to the theater. I don't like to deal with all the crowds and the people and, noises and, illness that you could possibly contract. But I feel like the drive-in theater is sort of like the best of both worlds. You get to stay in your self-contained space of your own vehicle, but you get to watch a movie on the big screen. Honestly, I hope they continue to make a resurgence in popularity because, sometimes the oldies are good for a reason. And anyway, the story we told ourselves for this particular build was that it was going to be one of those drive-in movie theaters that only showed classic movies. And then that ensued a whole conversation about what constitutes a classic movie because, we're older and, a lot of the movies that were popular when we were teenagers are now considered classics. I think 25 years is when they say is the cutoff. 25 years previously, that's classics. I grew up with classics that were like black and white, and now kids are like, oh, Clueless, it's a classic. What? Because, it's almost 30 years old, which blows my mind. I don't know if it, does that for anybody else. But yeah, we had a lot of fun putting this together, figuring out how we wanted the screen to kind of look. Lots of collaboration here. I really had a great time hanging out with both Reaps and Tracy and just joking and laughing and kidding around and, what you do when you're playing some Dinkum. You dink around. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys just enjoy this, and I'll be back in a little bit. I wanted to showcase a little bit of how we were kind of trying to make the spots where you would drive up in your car and you would have the speaker. I know a lot more of the modern day ones, you just tune into a certain radio station, an AM channel or something like that. We decided to build some concession stands. And Reeves was like, here, go to town. And I was like, a building on the fly with no plan. Ah, awesome. So this is what we did. We had one that was like ice cream, and I think we had one that was hot dogs. And then, of course, no public sort of meeting place is complete without a public restroom. There was quite a lot of joking around about this bathroom. There was some controversy about why there was so much poo already in the bathroom. I think the Roos got in there and had a field day. But then I think we all kept messing with each other and like dropping Roo poo in a corner and then blaming it on somebody else. And that was a lot of fun, playing that little game with each other. Again, these guys are so much fun to hang out with. And I was getting myself in a pickle there, doing things backwards like I usually do. But yeah, we had a great fun teasing each other. This bathroom, we actually were like, this is the most glorious bathroom. It's so clean and white and pristine. And then I let Reeps and Tracy kind of take over the inside. I was like, here's the basic outline of a bathroom. Sunny, my building partner, is the queen of bathroom building. So I tried to channel her vibes, in building a bathroom and be like, what would Sunny do? This looks like, any one of those like cinder block bathrooms you would see at any kind of like public park. But we had a lot of fun with it. This ensued lots of laughing and goofing and kidding around and chat laughing at us as well. This bathroom was a hot topic of conversation, and it's got a lot more screen time here than anything else. I don't know what that says about us as builders, that we were just like, this bathroom is amazing. But yeah, anyway, simple things humor us and entertain us, and that's really what life's all about, right, guys? It is a gorgeous bathroom, absolutely pristine. It should be hallowed in the halls of greatness. I'm just kidding. We wanted to create sort of this natural barrier, so we were planting a lot of trees to kind of create a block, from the main road. If you're going to go to a movie theater, they usually turn the movie theater screen around. But I think for aesthetic purposes and just, on his island being the way that it is, we decided to have the screen face the road. One of the things that's a challenge when you're working with other people and on their island is you want to, make sure it fits the vibe of what they've already got going on. And when I had kind of messaged him and we were talking about working together, he was like, well, what haven't you built? And I was like, dude, what haven't you built? So anyway, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a drive-in theater or anything like that. So maybe we should do something. So that's how this idea came about. And, I hope he is happy with it. I had a lot of fun building it with them, and I think it turned out really good, which makes me kind of want to put one on my island now. So we named the drive-in theater Teresa's Drive-In. She, during that live stream, made a huge donation in Super Chats, and we were like, yeah, we got to name it after her, obviously. So yeah, anyway, I'm planting trees and trying to get an idea of what they're going to look like because Reeps wanted to kind of keep it very wooded behind the theater screen. And our next day change command was kind of slow, but it did eventually work. So we kind of had a couple of little like open spaces, and it was like, okay, what are we going to do here? And some theaters, have like playgrounds for the kids. Maybe the movie is not exactly as kid-friendly as the parents thought. Hey, go over here to the playground and play. So we took that little open spot and made that into a kind of play area. Dinkum doesn't really have any playground equipment or playground items in the game just yet. So you kind of have to improvise. And this is what we came up with. And then he put a little petting zoo with some chooks in the little fenced-in area back there. Quirky and weird, and I love it. It worked out perfectly. Anyway, so here I think is our little final walkthrough at night. I do really enjoy how this turned out, and definitely gonna have to put one on my island. Thank Reeps and Tracy for letting me come hang out with them, and for Reeps' chat for being so welcoming and just, acting like I was one of the crew from the get-go. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to do it again sometime soon. All of our, wondrous little buildings here, the bathroom obviously needs its own special moment to shine. The best bathroom in all of Dinkum history. Anyway, again, thanks guys so much for letting me come build this on Reeps' amazing island and hang out with you guys. It's always so much fun to work with new people, learn how to do things in a new way. I can't thank them enough for letting me, be part of the cool kids crowd. It was great. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to watch the actual live stream, I will link it in the description down below. You should check that out. It's a lot of fun. You can see the whole process, mostly from Reeps' perspective. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this one. As always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and we will obviously see you in the next video. Bye, guys.